Imagine a unique planet that remains almost untouched by modern civilizations, where every creature lives in complete harmony with nature, and survival depends entirely on the wonders and gifts of the surrounding world. For over 10,000 years, the Hadza tribe, residing in the heart of Tanzania, has maintained an astonishing harmony with their environment, consciously rejecting many of the achievements of modern civilization that are commonplace in our daily lives. They deliberately abstain from agriculture, livestock raising, and even the simplest and most familiar means of starting a fire, such as lighters. Instead, their daily life is filled with ancient knowledge and skills passed down through generations. The most remarkable aspect is their hours-long use of traditional fire-making methods based on the art of friction, which requires patience, craftsmanship, and a deep understanding of nature. Their way of life is not just about survival, but embodies a philosophy that includes unusual family traditions. In their culture, it is quite common for a man to have multiple wives, and this is considered a natural part of their family life. How do they manage to maintain harmony in such extraordinary and often complex relationships? What internal rules allow them to avoid conflicts and keep peace within large families? These questions open a door to a fascinating world that can be found in the very heart of Tanzania, in the region adjacent to the picturesque Lake Isi. It is there that the Hadza tribe lives, a people whose way of life has no parallels in the modern world. For many millennia, they have been perfecting their survival skills, entirely dependent on the generosity of nature, which they respect and protect. Their existence is a perfect example of balance between human needs and sustainable coexistence with the environment, allowing us to glimpse the roots of human civilization and understand its origins and principles of development. The Hadza tribe are true nomads, moving in small groups, following natural cycles, changing seasons, and resource availability. They are not tied to a permanent residence. Their path is constant movement, helping them stay in harmony with nature. For them, hunting is not just a means of obtaining food, but a true art that requires strategic thinking, patience, and a profound understanding of animal behavior. Imagine how you would change your usual life, filled with technology, computers, and smartphones, to using a bow and arrows, going on a hunt for antelopes, boars, or birds. Each successful hunt is not only a result of skill, but also incredible patience, strategic planning, and a close connection with the surrounding nature. Even their hunting dogs are not merely pets, but full-fledged partners who participate in the hunt and help them survive. These loyal helpers do not merely follow commands, they are part of their shared world, embodying the close bond between humans and nature. When the time comes and a dog grows old or becomes ill, the tribe perceives this as a natural cycle of life, not wasting unnecessary resources on animals that have lost their hunting abilities. Their worldview is rooted in a deep belief in the generosity and abundance of nature, which provides exactly what is needed for survival, avoiding excess and wastefulness. They see the earth as a source of life and consume only what allows them to remain in harmony with nature, completely excluding excess and overconsumption from their lives. Such reverence for natural laws and respect for the surrounding world not only inspire admiration, but also teach an essential lesson about the necessity of living in harmony with nature, not against it. Today, the Hadza tribe is one of the few remaining hunter-gatherer communities on the planet. Their way of life is a living testament to an ancient human culture that existed for centuries in harmony with nature. They live in very simple temporary dwellings made of branches and leaves. Every member of the Hadza tribe, regardless of age or gender, has an equal voice, and their opinion carries the same weight as that of any other community member. This remarkable system, where all participants are equal, differs fundamentally from the social structures and hierarchies we are accustomed to in modern society. It lacks clearly defined positions. There are no leaders or chiefs, and the most important decisions are made collectively at general gatherings, where every adult, man or woman, has an equal right to express their opinion and participate in discussions. Imagine a life free from stress, constant deadlines, endless schedules, and the race to achieve fleeting goals. For the Hadza people, this is not just a dream, it is their everyday reality. Their time is not measured by familiar hours or calendar dates, but is determined by nature. by the cycles of the sun, moon, and changing seasons. The position of the solar disk guides them on the best times for hunting or working. This is their natural reference point, their internal calendar. When the full moon rises in the sky, everyone gathers together to participate in ritual dances, share news, or set out on a new hunt. The changing seasons set the rhythm of their existence, making it measured, meaningful, and free from the usual worries and rushes we know. Just think for a moment. Perhaps there is some deep wisdom hidden in such a life, a wisdom that the modern world has long lost? The Hadza tribe is an extraordinary example of harmonious and egalitarian coexistence between men and women. In their society, women play no less important a role than men, and their participation is essential for maintaining stability and continuing the lineage. Their knowledge of wild plants, including those that can be eaten and those with medicinal properties, is passed down from generation to generation. This knowledge is not just about how to gather food, but real-life lessons without which survival would be impossible. Every morning, women go into the forest or thickets to collect roots, berries, and other natural gifts, demonstrating incredible skill and the ability to distinguish edible plants from poisonous ones. For them, this is not only a matter of sustenance, but also a concern for the health of the entire tribe, as many gathered herbs possess powerful healing properties capable of curing and strengthening health. The men of the Hadza tribe are hunters whose mastery has become a true tradition over the centuries. Armed with bows made from sturdy acacia wood and arrows with tips of bone or metal, they display phenomenal patience and attentiveness. Hunting for them is not just a way to obtain food, but a true art that requires high concentration and a subtle understanding of nature. They can spend hours tracking their prey, noticing the smallest traces, behavioral changes in animals, and even minor signs indicating the presence of game. The hunting group acts in harmony, using special signals and gestures that help coordinate their actions, avoiding noise and unexpected mistakes. This collective approach, based on mutual trust and precise communication, allows them to successfully hunt even the most cunning and dangerous animals. A special place in their culture is occupied by the tradition of honey harvesting, which holds a vital role in their diet, especially during certain seasons when it can constitute up to 80%. The Hadza have developed a unique way of coexisting with wild bees and use a special bird, the honey guide, that helps them locate hives in the most inaccessible places. This process resembles a sacred ritual during which, despite the risk of painful bee stings, they show deep respect for these insects, considering them guardians of natural riches. For them, bees are not just a source of sweet honey, but sacred messengers of nature, gratitude for which is expressed through careful treatment and reverence. Their ancient democratic system of governance, existing for several thousand years, could serve as an example for many modern societies seeking harmony and sustainable development. A special place in this system is occupied by a unique child-rearing method called UHDA, which differs from the familiar Western methods. From an early age, Hadza children are taught by elders, observing their actions closely and trying to imitate them. This approach makes the learning process natural and organic, rather than formal and imposed. Unlike the schools we are accustomed to, where knowledge is presented through textbooks and lessons, their entire savanna becomes a spacious, living classroom, and life itself turns into an ongoing textbook filled with numerous lessons and experiences. The young Hadza children rapidly acquire essential skills necessary for their survival and development. By the age of 5, boys can handle miniature bows, hunting small game, while girls can distinguish dozens of edible plant species, which helps them gather food independently. The ritual life of this tribe is rich with various traditions intertwined with their daily concerns. Special attention is given to dances and songs performed to rhythmic clapping, creating a unique atmosphere of unity and spiritual connection. These collective activities are not merely entertainment. They strengthen social bonds within the tribe, serve as an important means of preserving history and culture, and act as a way to communicate with the spirits of their ancestors. During the full moon, the entire community gathers around a communal fire, where elders tell myths and legends, passing down a rich cultural heritage from generation to generation. which becomes a foundation for future generations. Surprisingly, despite their seemingly simple way of life and existing traditions, the Hads have developed a complex and precise system of ecological knowledge. They know exactly when and where to find specific plants, how animals behave in different seasons, and can predict weather changes based on natural signs. This knowledge, accumulated over millennia of observation and interaction with nature, allows them to survive in conditions that could be deadly for an unprepared person. In recent years, anthropologists have increasingly focused on the phenomenon of the Hads, viewing them as a unique window into human history. Their way of life and traditions provide invaluable insights into how our ancient ancestors lived before the emergence of cities and civilization. But most importantly, the Hads demonstrate that happiness and harmony are possible even without all the material possessions modern society considers essential. They remind us of simple yet profound truths of human existence and values that are often lost in the hustle and pursuit of material wealth. The Hads tribe shows an incredible ability to adapt to the changing world. Despite the pressures of modern civilization, they find ways to preserve their cultural identity without losing their connection to traditions. The younger generation of Hads, educated in neighboring settlements and towns, returns to their native tribe, enriching traditional knowledge with modern skills and technologies. This remarkable synthesis of ancient wisdom and contemporary innovations creates a harmonious combination that allows the tribe to thrive even in the 21st century. Their dietary traditions attract particular interest from researchers and specialists. Hads' diet, based on wild plants and the meat of wild animals, is considered one of the most balanced in the world. Scientists note that this people rarely suffer from civilization-related diseases, such as obesity, diabetes, or cardiovascular conditions. Their gut microbiota, shaped over millennia by proper nutrition and lifestyle, has become the subject of separate medical and biological research. Water plays a crucial role in their existence. During the dry season, the Hads demonstrate remarkable ingenuity, extracting moisture from the most unexpected sources. They know how to find water in dried-up riverbeds, collect morning dew from plants, and utilize ancient and unique technologies, heritage of centuries-old traditions, that are passed down from generation to generation as a precious treasure stored deep within the people's memory. Each generation of the Hads tribe carefully preserves the knowledge and skills of their ancestors, transmitting them with love and respect, as if they were a valuable relic meant to remain untouched by time. Maintaining trade relations with surrounding settlements is an important part of their life, although these connections are made very cautiously and carefully. The tribe exchanges handcrafted items, unique objects created with skill and soul, for metal tools that significantly ease their work, as well as for fabrics that serve practical purposes and carry artistic value. This careful and thoughtful integration into the modern world helps them preserve their independence and identity without completely rejecting the benefits of civilization that may be useful and appropriate in their lives. The phenomenon of the Hads is especially significant in today's world, full of technology and consumerism, where values and traditions often take a back seat. Their way of life represents an alternative model based on mindfulness, sustainability, and harmony with nature. Such a lifestyle demonstrates that it is possible to live in accord with the environment without losing one's individuality and spiritual depth. Perhaps it is precisely in these ancient wisdoms, accumulated over centuries, that the answers to many complex challenges faced by humanity today are hidden. Their traditions embody principles that enable a more conscious attitude towards resources, nature, and oneself. A special place is occupied by the unique medicine of the Hads tribe, where nature becomes a true pharmacy, and knowledge of the healing properties of plants is a genuine treasure. Over many years, the tribe has developed its own healing system based on profound knowledge of local flora and fauna. Female healers endowed with a special intuition and wisdom can identify illnesses from barely noticeable symptoms, often imperceptible to outsiders, and prepare medicinal remedies from dozens of plant species cultivated and gathered from their surrounding environment. Part 6 of 14. Their ability to treat snake bites, wounds, and fevers with specially prepared infusions and decoctions, which possess remarkable healing properties, is particularly impressive. These ancient medical practices, based on a deep understanding of nature and traditional recipes, today attract the interest of scientists and pharmaceutical companies who study them in search of new, more effective medicinal formulas. The Hadza language is a living relic of antiquity, unique and incomparable. Linguists consider it one of the oldest and most authentic languages in the world, as it contains clicking and hissing sounds characteristic of the earliest linguistic systems in Africa. And it has changed very little over the past tens of thousands of years. This language lacks words for numbers greater than 3, reflecting a worldview where only the first numerical units are important, and higher numbers are simply unnecessary. For Hadza children, this complex language is transmitted naturally. They learn by listening to elders without formal lessons, absorbing its subtleties and nuances as part of their daily life. Unlike Western systems and calendars, the tribe relies on natural cycles, such as moon phases and seasonal changes in nature. The full moon is a special time for hunting, festivities, and gatherings, symbolizing abundance and the power of nature. The new moon is considered a period of rest, a time for internal reflection and preparation for new events. They precisely determine the timing of plant ripening and animal migrations by observing star positions and vegetation conditions, passing this knowledge down through generations via songs, stories, and rituals. Their artistic expression manifests through body decoration with ochre, applied in patterns and symbols, as well as through the creation of beautiful and practical objects from seeds and ostrich eggshells. A special place is occupied by their craft of making tools and ornaments. The first and perhaps most important condition for such a unique way of life is constant, moderate physical activity, which becomes an integral part of their daily routine. On average, members of this tribe walk about 12 or 15 kilometers each day. This active lifestyle hardens the body, promotes health, and makes their organisms resilient and enduring. Equally significant is their particular diet, rich in proteins and fiber. Their diet is built so that each meal includes natural products gathered or hunted from the wild, allowing them not only to meet their nutritional needs, but also to maintain internal balance and harmony. An important characteristic of their life is the almost complete absence of chronic stress, which is so common in the modern world. Such inner peace is achieved through harmonious coexistence with nature, the absence of negative external factors, and a conscious way of living. The unique microbiome of their intestines, formed over millennia of evolution, plays a crucial role in their health and longevity. This microflora is the result of long-term interactions with the environment, natural products, and their way of life, making their bodies resilient to various diseases. Finally, the most important factor ensuring a long and fulfilling life is strong social bonds within their community. Within the tribe, where each person feels a sense of belonging, support, and responsibility for the well-being of the entire community. Interestingly and surprisingly, researchers studying this, people have found no special genetic advantages or mutations that could explain their phenomenal longevity. All their health and lifespan depend entirely on their lifestyle, their unique culture, and harmony with nature. The nightlife of this tribe holds many secrets and ancient rituals, carefully passed down from generation to generation. When the twilight star appears in the sky, life in their settlement does not cease. On the contrary, it takes on a special, almost mystical hue. At this time, a true cultural center unfolds around the campfire, where each participant finds an activity that suits their interests and passions. Wise elders, surrounded by the young, tell ancient myths related to the creation of the world, the origin of humans, and natural forces. These stories are not just entertainment, but sacred knowledge passed from mouth to mouth, forming part of the ritual tradition. Women, illuminated by the flickering flame, skillfully process the gathered plants and herbs of the day, preparing them for storage and future use. Their deft movements and routine of such work symbolize care for the future and the well-being of the community. Meanwhile, men carefully check their hunting tools, bows, arrows, and knives, carefully repairing and replenishing supplies to be ready for the next hunt. The youth, in rhythm with traditional claps, learn ancient dances that imitate the movements and behaviors of animals, becoming part of this living heritage. A special place in their evening rituals is occupied by the tobacco smoking ceremony, which essentially serves as a club for shared interests. In a relaxed atmosphere, they discuss the most important events of the past day, share impressions, and make crucial decisions affecting the entire tribe. From the very first days, the children of this people are immersed in an amazing and mysterious world of traditional upbringing, where each day becomes a lesson in wisdom and experience. By the age of 3, a child can accurately distinguish edible plants from poisonous ones, and by 5, confidently holds a miniature bow, mastering the basics of hunting skills as if they are the future protector of their community. By the age of 7, he is already familiar with the vast plains of the savanna, and by 10, he has fully mastered all the skills necessary for independent survival in the wild. When evening falls and the sun slowly disappears beyond the horizon, the air around is filled with unique sounds that can be described as hypnotic. These sounds are not just random noises, but a whole symphony woven from voices and rhythms characteristic of this people. Women's voices blend with soft yet expressive melodies, creating a mesmerizing harmony that captivates every listener. At this time, women perform traditional chants, their melodies intertwining with rhythmic clapping of hands, emphasizing each note and giving the song a special liveliness. Men, in turn, keep the rhythm using resonant sticks, striking them against the dry ground to produce a deep and powerful beat, highlighting the importance of every sound. At the center of this musical ceremony are the elders, who lead guttural, meaningful melodies that preserve and transmit from generation to generation the history, legends, and wisdom of their ancestors. These spontaneous musical gatherings often last until the first morning rays of the sun, transforming into more than just entertainment, into a sacred rite of unity that brings all participants together in a shared spiritual fervor. Unlike Western musical traditions, where strict rules and standards often dictate the structure of compositions, improvisation is an integral part of these rituals. Music is born here and now, like the rustling of grass in a gentle breeze, natural, free, and organic, without restrictions or templates. A special place in the culture is occupied by the traditional Hadza costume, which is not only an element of clothing, but also a vital means of visual communication. The loincloths worn by experienced hunters are decorated with intricate patterns, each serving as a kind of map reflecting their most significant achievements and prey. These patterns are made with special carved lines and spirals, each symbolizing a particular catch or a meaningful moment in the hunter's life. Women's skirts, made from finely tanned leather, play no less an important role. Their color scheme varies from light ochre to dark brown, allowing easy recognition of a woman's status and role in society. These skirts are complemented by amulets made from drilled bones and seeds, which, according to folk beliefs, protect the wearer from evil spirits, safeguard her health, and ensure her well-being. Even the simplest clothing element, such as the uhads, is not just a part of the wardrobe, but a carrier of numerous meanings understandable to every member of the tribe. All this symbolism helps preserve the connection to traditions, strengthen internal unity, and pass values from generation to generation. When a drought occurs and natural resources begin to dwindle, the tribe gradually and consciously moves toward temporary water sources, following the well-established routes of their ancestors. This movement does not occur spontaneously, but is carried out with deep respect for nature and its cycles. The elders, possessing extensive experience and knowledge, read the signs of the environment as if it were an open book. They carefully observe the position of the stars in the sky, the direction of the wind, and the behavior of animals to determine the safest and most favorable route. In this process, every movement and decision is part of a sacred ritual, as water, like the earth, is connected to spiritual forces. Women, in turn, skillfully pack their scant belongings using natural materials, while children help carry vessels made from gourds filled with precious water, essential for life. This journey is not merely a movement to fetch water, but a sacred act in which each step is coordinated with the earth's breath and rhythms, symbolizing the profound harmony between humans and nature. When meeting with neighboring tribes, the Hadza demonstrate remarkably subtle mastery in the art of peaceful coexistence and negotiation. Initially, negotiations begin with an exchange. In ancient Hadza tribes, unique methods of stone processing have been preserved, which are markedly different from those used today. These methods are so ancient and carefully passed down through generations that modern archaeologists studying the finds attempt to recreate them in laboratory conditions to understand how our ancestors managed to create such highly effective tools. Unlike primitive scrapers or implements, which are often just rough and simple tools, Hadzi tools are complex, highly specialized items, each part of which has a strictly defined purpose. Every knife or scraper could serve up to 10 different tasks, from butchering meat and processing hides to making other necessary items. These tools were crafted with the utmost attention to technological nuances, and it is astonishing that the manufacturing techniques, existing for tens of thousands of years, remain highly effective even today and are used in the daily life of the tribe. Hadzi masters possess a unique ability to determine the quality of stone by the sound it makes when tapped. They have a special skill. By the sound, they can understand how suitable the stone is for making tools and what properties make it most valuable. The process of making a single tool by these masters takes from 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on the complexity of the item. This is not just a craft, but an entire system based on centuries-old knowledge of the properties of flint and obsidian, passed down through generations. This knowledge includes secrets of processing and the most delicate techniques that allow creating tools whose efficiency rivals that of modern metal counterparts designed for specific tasks. Particularly impressive is their technique called press retouch. In this process, the master carefully removes the finest flakes from the surface of the stone blank with precise movements of a bone retoucher, ultimately creating an extremely sharp and durable edge. This method, known since the Upper Paleolithic era, was perfected by the Hadz craftsmen. In their hands, for example, an unworked piece of flint can be transformed in just 40 to 50 minutes into an excellent hunting tool capable of performing its functions effectively. These ancient technologies, mastered by the Hadz tribe, represent an invaluable key to understanding how our ancestors explored and adapted to their environment long before the advent of metals, the digital age, microelectronics, and nanotechnology. In Hadz culture and way of life, there exists a deeply thought-out system of dietary restrictions that serve not only practical purposes, but also hold sacred significance. For instance, children who have not yet undergone initiation cannot eat wild boar meat, as it is considered too powerful and dangerous for their still developing bodies. Pregnant women carefully avoid certain plants with potentially harmful properties to protect their unborn children. The elders adhere to a strict, regulated diet that includes only specific types of meat and roots, which helps maintain health and balance within their community. These age-old prohibitions, encoded in myths and legends, have a clear practical basis aimed at protecting the most vulnerable members of the tribe. They act as a kind of safeguard for health, helping to avoid harmful foods and ensuring the stable survival of future generations. Additionally, the Hadz have a complex and carefully thought-out system for resolving interpersonal conflicts. Open confrontations and public quarrels are considered the greatest shame, and efforts are made to prevent them. For serious disagreements, a special ritual is performed. All disputants gather for a communal meeting, where elders serve as wise mediators. This process often lasts several days, during which the parties participate in rituals aimed at reconciliation. One such ritual involves sharing tobacco smoke together. In Hadz society, there is a strict and unwavering custom. They are never to be disturbed, regardless of surrounding circumstances or dangers that may threaten them along their path. This prohibition, rooted deep in history, is a cornerstone of their culture and a symbol of respect for nature and its inhabitants. After each successful hunt, which is not only a source of food, but also an important ritual, a special ceremony of gratitude is held. During this ritual, the bones of the slain animal are carefully extracted and buried with reverence, emphasizing their deep respect for the sacrifices made and their regard for the balance of nature. These ancient rules, passed down orally through countless generations, serve not only as a guide to action, but also as a means of maintaining harmony between humans and the surrounding world, allowing the Hadza to preserve their unique balance with nature and not disrupt its natural order. The women of this tribe have achieved remarkable skill in creating practical and durable items from natural materials, which serve them in everyday life. Using fibers from baobab and acacia trees, they weave elegant baskets that are not only beautiful, but also exceptionally strong. These baskets can comfortably hold up to 15 kilograms, making them indispensable helpers in their household chores. The weaving techniques include 7 main patterns, each with a specific purpose. Some are designed for storing honey, others for carrying infants, and yet others for storing various objects. Among their crafts, special significance is given to so-called living bags, unique containers made from specially processed bark capable of holding water for up to 3 days without leaks. Girls begin to learn these skills at the age of 6, gradually mastering all the intricacies of weaving. By the time they reach adulthood, they possess a full arsenal of techniques that enable them to create a variety of utilitarian items from natural materials. In addition to their craft achievements, the Hadza are renowned for their deep knowledge of astronomy, which is passed down through generations via songs and tales. They can recognize 18 significant star configurations, each serving as an important navigator for determining the seasons and seasonal changes. Among these, special importance is given to the Hunter's Star, likely the Sirius constellation, which according to their beliefs helps identify the most favorable times for driving game and starting the hunting season. Their lunar cycles are divided into 12 phases, each dictating its own rituals, plant gathering, and activities. This knowledge is so precise that it allows the tribe to predict rainfalls within 3 to 5 days, which is crucial for their livelihood and survival. For the Hadza, the entire land they inhabit is filled with invisible sacred sites known only to the initiated. Particular significance is attached to hills believed to be inhabited by ancestral spirits. Circumventing these sacred areas is a sign of respect for the ancestors and the spirits of nature that protect their people. Among ancient relics, special place is held by baobabs over 500 years old. These ancient trees are considered to be talking, believed to be inhabited by spirits and the wisdom of ancestors. Elders gather near such trees to hold councils and make fateful decisions, for it is in these ancient, seemingly living objects that they place their faith and hopes. Water bodies with underground springs are surrounded by taboos, unwritten prohibitions that forbid loud speech and hunting nearby. These unspoken rules are observed not out of fear, but out of deep respect for the spirits of nature, which, according to Hadza belief, ensure their survival and prosperity for many centuries. The musical instruments created by the Hadza are not just tools, they hold cultural significance. Traditional games and rituals of the Hadza tribe are not merely entertainment or ceremonies, but form a complex system of preparing for adulthood, encompassing the responsibilities and wisdom expected of each member of this unique community. Every game and competition is imbued with profound meaning and serves as an important educational tool, developing skills necessary for survival and harmonious coexistence. One such game involves throwing spears at a moving target, which helps develop hunting skills and precision. This practice teaches young people to control their movements, enhance attentiveness and patience, and strengthen their connection with nature and its laws. An essential part of upbringing is the game called Blind Trail, where participants must navigate a difficult route with their eyes closed. This experience trains not only memory and spatial orientation, but also fosters inner resilience, self-trust, and confidence in their companions, as well as reliance on their feelings and intuition. A special place among rituals is occupied by nighttime firefly hunting, considered a highly honorable and demanding competition. This game teaches patience, accuracy, and the ability to concentrate under limited light and time constraints. During the hunt, it is crucial to remain calm and focused, as fireflies are delicate and highly sensitive to movement. All these games and trials are conducted without judges, emphasizing the honesty and internal responsibility of each participant. Oversight of fairness and integrity is maintained by the community itself, helping to strengthen trust within the tribe and foster a sense of responsibility among everyone. Unlike most civilizations, winners of such competitions do not receive material rewards or riches. Instead, they are granted a unique privilege, the first to share their story around the evening fire, passing down important knowledge, legends, and lessons accumulated over years of life from generation to generation. As for names, Hadza do not receive them at birth as simple labels. Instead, a name is acquired during life and reflects significant events, character traits, or pivotal moments. The first name is linked to the circumstances of the child's birth. For example, They might be named after something meaning under the baobab or first drop of rain. At the age of 7, when a child reaches a certain level of maturity, they are given a name based on their distinctive traits, such as sharp eye or fast legs. After a special initiation ceremony, a child is given an adult name that symbolizes their first significant achievement or role in society. In adulthood, elders may bestow a special name that commemorates an important event in the tribe's history. This name carries deep spiritual and historical significance. Upon a person's death, their name becomes tabooed. It's not spoken for 3 lunar cycles as a sign of profound respect and remembrance. Later, if similar traits are observed in newborns, they may be given the name previously held by the deceased to preserve their spirit and legacy. Among the Hadza, there exists a complex system of gestures, consisting of over 100 different signals, enabling communication over distances without a single sound. This sign language includes, for example, turning the head combined with a hand movement, which can warn of danger or indicate the direction to prey. Each animal species has its own specific signs. A gentle pat on the shoulder means antelope, while finger movements at the temple signify boar. Children begin learning this language at the age of 5, and only after 20 hunting seasons do they achieve full mastery, becoming true experts in this unique form of communication. Hadza hunters employ special techniques to blend with nature, allowing them to mask themselves and remain invisible. They create special coverings from grass and clay that completely alter their silhouette, making them nearly undetectable in the environment. Great care is taken to eliminate any signs of human presence. In Hadza society, there are many ancient customs and rituals passed down through generations that deeply influence their daily life. These people are very attentive to what they eat, avoiding certain foods that may be considered dangerous or unsuitable for their spiritual and physical health. Each day begins with special ceremonies and rituals that help them prepare for the upcoming day and strengthen their connection with the surrounding nature and ancestors. An important part of their traditions is the belief that as long as the sacred fire in their sanctuary burns steadily and without interruption, misfortunes and calamities will not come to their door. This fire symbolizes their spiritual strength and unity, and it is maintained by specially trained individuals who observe ancient customs. The wisdom of their ancestors has taught the Hadza astonishing and highly effective methods of food preservation, which was especially important in conditions of limited supplies and frequent dry periods. For example, they smoke meat using a special method that involves burning certain types of trees that produce a rich aroma and medicinal properties. This technique allows them to preserve meat for a long time, making it suitable for consumption during periods when fresh resources are scarce. Honey collected from the wild is stored in airtight vessels, carved from sturdy wood to prevent spoilage and fermentation. These containers are then buried in specially prepared pits and filled with aromatic herbs that not only give the honey a unique flavor, but also repel bothersome insects and pests. These traditional methods enable them to create strategic reserves for times of prolonged drought or other natural disasters, ensuring the survival of their community during the hardest times. As the sun slowly sets behind the horizon and evening falls, the tribe's best hunters gather at designated places for nocturnal hunts. They use torches made from wood soaked in resin, which burns with a bright and steady light. This light attracts certain animals, significantly easing their capture. However, the primary weapons of the night hunters are not bows and arrows but special throwing sticks, crafted using traditional techniques and featuring a unique shape that allows them to deliver deadly strikes from a distance. This dangerous and complex craft is permitted only for those chosen individuals who have undergone extensive training and possess supernatural abilities attributed to their culture. According to beliefs, these abilities enable them to perform their missions more accurately and successfully, protecting the tribe and ensuring its survival. Pregnant women of the Hadza tribe retreat to separate huts built specifically away from the main camp to avoid potential dangers and to provide a safe environment for childbirth. Only elder women, skilled in secret massage techniques and herbal infusions, assist with the deliveries. These senior women are the custodians of ancient knowledge, passed down through generations, and they are responsible for the well-being of the mother and newborn. After the birth, the newborn is not allowed to be exposed to the sun for 3 days, as it is believed that during this period, their soul and body are especially vulnerable. The placenta is buried with great respect, and special ceremonies related to this ritual are conducted under a sacred tree in the center of the camp, which is considered a protection for the mother and child from evil spirits and negative forces. These rites, filled with deep meaning and ancient wisdom, help strengthen the bond between humans and nature, ensuring harmony and well-being for the entire community.